The Honorable Tan Sri Dr. Amar Haji Muhammad Asfiya bin Amal Nassar, Speaker of the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly. The Honorable Ministers, the Honorable Dr. Abdullah bin Haji Saidul, the Deputy Minister in the previous Department for Corporate Affairs, Information and Sarawak Public Communication Unit, UKAS. The Honorable Deputy Ministers, Yang Berusaha Encik Awang Putra Yusri bin Awang Rizwan, the Director of the Sarawak Public Communication Unit, UKAS, heads of departments and agencies, the delegates and participants from the ministries, from the agencies, from the Media Association, and of course the members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning everyone, and a grand welcome to the launching ceremony of the Sarawak Media Conference 2026. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, so as to pray for blessings for today's grand ceremony, it is now with great pleasure to invite Al-Badi Ustaz Haji Said Abdul Aziz bin Haji Wan Yusuf to recite the doa. Hadirin, bacaan doa tuju dengan segala hormatnya pada tafadhal masykuran, dipersilakan.
Amin, amin ya rabbal alamin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, Tuhan yang Maha Pemurah lagi Maha Penyayang, dengan penuh rasa syukur kami berhimpun berbagi yang penuh bermakna ini, jayakan majlis Sarawak Media Conference 2026 yang akan disempurnakan oleh Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Johari Bintu Datuk Abang Haji Upeng, Premier Sarawak. Kami melafazkan setinggi-tinggi kesyukuran atas segala nikmat, rahmat dan kesempatan yang Kau kurniakan kepada kami. Ya Allah, kurniakanlah kepada seluruh peserta persidangan, pengamal media, para penceramah dan semua yang terlibat, hati yang ikhlas, fikiran yang terbuka, serta kebijaksanaan dalam setiap perkongsian ilmu dan perbincangan. Jadikanlah media sebagai wahana yang menyampaikan kebenaran, memperkuat perpaduan, memupuk nilai integriti, serta menyebarkan maklumat yang tepat, beretika dan membawa manfaat kepada agama masyarakat negeri dan negara. Ya Allah, Ya Dzal-Jalali wal Ikram, berkatilah Sarawak yang kami kasihi, limpahkanlah keamanan, kemakmuran dan kesejahteraan kepada seluruh rakyatnya. Kurniakanlah petunjuk, kebijaksanaan dan kekuatan kepada para pemimpinnya agar terus memimpin dengan adil, amanah dan berintegriti. Semoga Sarawak terus maju makmur, berdaya saing, lestari, serta menjadi sebuah negeri yang diberkati, selaras dengan aspirasi Sarawak maju makmur demi kesejahteraan generasi kini dan akan datang. Allahumma ya Allah, peliharalah Malaysia yang kami cintai daripada segala bentuk perpecahan, fitnah, bencana dan musibah. Satukanlah hati-hati kami dalam semangat berbuah, hormat menghormati dan kasih sayang. Kurniakanlah kepada kami kehidupan yang aman, rezeki yang halal lagi diberkati, serta kekuatan untuk terus berbakti kepada agama bangsa dan tanah air. Allahumma rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzabannar. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Alhamdulillah, jazakallahu khairan katsira. Majlis berakam kami ucapkan terima kasih kepada Al-Fadhil Ustaz Haji Said Abdul Aziz bin Haji Wan Yusuf, Pegawai Hal Ehwal Islam dari Jabatan Agama Islam Sarawak. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, early this morning we had our first knowledge sharing on the media governance, balancing freedom, responsibility and public content by Mr. Pramesh Chandran, the Deputy Chairman of Malaysia Media Council and who is also the co-founder of Malaysia Kini. As we have heard this morning, ladies and gentlemen, the future of the media is not defined solely by technology or speed of information, but by the ability to balance press freedom with ethical responsibility, public trust, and accountability. Well, throughout the session, many of the participants have shared their thoughts and and concerns. And now we shall take the conversation one step further. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, may we invite on stage Mr. Persidangan to join us, well, definitely to assist us tie together the important ideas shared this morning on media governance and leave us with the key insights that will continue to guide our thinking beyond this conference. Jadi itu, Majlis yang sekarang hormatnya mempersilakan Mr. Pramesh, please join us.
Right, Honorable Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Suhari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Upeng Premier of Sarawak. Right, Honorable Datuk Amar Professor Dr. Sim Kuyen, Deputy Premier of Sarawak and Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government. Honorable Tan Sri Datuk Amar Haji Muhammad Asfia bin Awang Nazar, Speaker of the Sarawak Legislative Assembly. Honorable Ministers, Honorable Dato Abdullah bin Zaidul, Deputy Minister, the Premier's Department for Corporate Affairs and UCAN, Organizing Chairperson. Honorable Deputy Ministers, Yang Berusaha Awang Putrasuri, Awang Rizwan, Director of UCAN, Central Department, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. A very good morning to you and hello. Thanks for having me here. It's really an honor to be invited to this prestigious conference. I was here 2 years ago for Awana in Sarawak and I'm very, very glad to be back. I think for us in Peninsular Malaysia, we now look upon Sarawak as quite envious these days. With all the political developments and intrigue and elections in Kuala Lumpur, and often political fights and ethnic tensions, going on there. And, with war in the Middle East, and so much of difficulties worldwide. Sarawak is so tranquil and peaceful, and the people of Sarawak seem to work so happily together. Congratulations. Very, very impressive. I think increasingly Sarawak is becoming an icon for development, economic development, for digitization, for investment. So it's really interesting to see Sarawak take the lead in so many frontiers. I won't go on for long, I won't repeat too much of my speech. But as you know, the Malaysian Media Council was established last year under an Act of Parliament. And I would just like to say a little word about freedom and responsibility. In my earlier speech, I gave the analogy in terms of something that we know in terms of parents and children. Maybe it's easy to kind of explain it in that way. So I suggested that there's kind of a relationship between parents and children with the media and the government. Sometimes, children have to take exams, they study really hard, and they do really well. They come back with 6 A's and 2 B's. And they show the mother and father, look, my report card, I did so well. Typically, the parents will look at the report card saying, how come 2 B's? Instead of looking at the 6 A's. The child has worked so hard. And sometimes when the government look at media the same way, the government does so much for the people. They build bridges, they build hospitals, they do housing. But in the end, the press say, how come we got corruption? Or how come this is not relevant? Or how come this is delayed? And sometimes the government gets annoyed. But this is the job of the journalist. Is to ask the question of how we implement, how can the country move forward, how can the state move forward. So this is a parent's job to ask the child, why do you not get activities? What do we need to do there? But I think that is the journalist not to be critical, but to say, how can we change? But another circumstance is also true that the media and the child and the parents and as a child, say too much to the parents, oh, Papa, you did wrong here, or Mama, salah sini, Kenapa ini salah kan? After a while, pun the parents tell the child, no pocket money for you, you stay at home, be quiet. So, as a child, you're also dependent on the government. You're dependent on government funding, government licensing, government advertising. So I think it's a little balance between independent and robust recognition of forming a relationship with the council is a way to recognize that today media can themselves. They can stand very late. And they should stand very late. We are now in the dark. We cannot always be taking care of our parents. So, for the media council, we have anyway, the complaint is media and the knowledge complaint and we can recognize it. So, media is not doing enough and we are trying to be independent and work very closely with government. So, the national and the state thing that we work with and all we all are working with Sarawak government. This project is really huge and big. And for the media council, perhaps we can work more closely to bring more media events to Sarawak, besides Kawana, other things. And also bring other media from all over the world to Sarawak to showcase what Sarawak is doing and how Sarawak is. So from the behalf of the media all over the country, we are happy to work with the Sarawak government for the success of Sarawak and its people. Thank you very much. And I think, thank you so much. And I think there are a few questions I can open up to the audience. Thank you so much for having me here. And I think, yes, I'm happy to take questions from the audience. Please,
I'm also currently the president of the Kuching Division Journalists Association. I just want to say thank you first for your sharing session earlier. I think it was a very timely reminder for journalists to be brave and courageous, especially in today's day and age. I think my question for you is coming from lack of understanding about the benefits of the Media Council. So I understand that we do have categories for media agencies, media practitioners, and non-media. But joining the council, what are the benefits to its members? Are they like different benefits for each category, or beyond complaints mechanism and things like that? Can you perhaps shed some more light on that? Thank you.
Thank you. So the Malaysian Media Council is very interesting because for the first time in our history, we have a council that has in a way some of the legal powers. But the board is not appointed by the minister, it's appointed by its members. And we have three categories of members. Media companies can join in category A. Media practitioners such as journalists and editors can join in category B, including freelance journalists. And in category C, for the first time, we have civil society, NGOs, academics, and other public interest groups that can join in category C. So for the first time, we have a body that brings all the media together. The council is, the board is elected, there are 21 members. The chairperson is Tan Sri Nalini Padmanathan, a very senior former federal court judge. Hello. So it's a neutral person, not from the industry, who chairs the council. We have the federal government represented by RTM and Bernama, the CEOs and heads of RTM and Bernama sit on the council. And we have 4 members from the media industry, 4 members from media practitioners, and 4 members from civil society. So they're very broad, and we have different languages, all the different mediums represented. Also the first council that recognizes gender parity. It's important to have both equal men and women in the law. So the first time the law in Malaysia prescribes for gender parity in the law. In terms of benefits, we are able to bring the media into and help train the journalists and not only train journalists, but also how to build a business of media, how to improve the sustainability of media. So we hope to be able to bring talent, bring knowledge, and exchange media so that we can build our media together. But also, to bring international media to more than recognize the success. So these are some benefits, and we hope to join the Media Council so that we can become centers of journalists and we can work together to help with journalists. Hope that any further questions?
Good morning. My name is Anna Rashida from Sarawak. I have one question for you. You mentioned the question of the Malaysian media. But now with more members of the public now sharing news on that, where does citizen journalism fit and how can we ensure accuracy and accountability? Thank you.
That's a very good question. Thank you so much. So now most of us, we can receive news from, say, professional media organizations that are well established, here we have a volume post as a member of the Media Council. Or you can get media on your social media, from citizen journalists, from your TikTok, from your Instagram, from your WhatsApp. So how do we differentiate? At the moment, there is too much information, and now with AI, increasing amount of disinformation or wrong information put forward. So increasingly, we're getting different types of information which is not regulated. So we are working with the federal government to see what we can do and MCMC to ensure that we are able to remove disinformation and misinformation on social media. At the same time, we work with influencers and content creators to create ethical standards so they themselves can be professional. There's nothing wrong being an influencer and content creator, but the information that you put forward has to be accurate and fair. And if it's wrong, there has to be some amount of repercussions. So we are working with the federal government on the law reform in order to support traditional and professional media, at the same time discourage and regulate content that is created online that is not ethical and has a amount of misinformation as well as hateful information that stirs communal unhappiness, etc. So this is a work in progress, and with our chairperson, Tan Sri Nalini, with vast experience in media reform and dialogue, we hope to change these laws together. So I hope all of you join me and support the Media Council and support good journalism in this country, and we look forward to working with the Sarawak government for professional journalism and Sarawak. Thank you very much.
Big round of applause.